Hey everyone, and welcome to the Action Hero Podcast, where the stories are epic, the heroes unforgettable, and the action is always turned up to 11. I'm your host, Adrian, and I am so stoked to be exploring a world of awesome heroes and amazing stories with you every single day.
And I'm Julia. Think of me as your guide through the chaos. I'll help connect the dots, break down the action, and maybe even make you think a little.
That's right. Today, we are kicking things off with a story that has got it all. A desperate race against time and possible choices, and a hero with a power that's both incredible and incredibly dangerous. Get ready for a second chance, a tale that's going to leave you breathless. All right, so let's set the scene. We've got this teenager, Alex, and he is dealing with something truly heartbreaking. His sister, Mia, is terminally ill. It sounds like whatever she has is moving fast, and time is definitely not on their side. But here's where things get interesting. Alex has this insane superpower. He can actually stop time.
It's a fascinating juxtaposition. You have this incredibly grounded human struggle with Mia's illness set against this almost godlike ability to manipulate time. It immediately raises questions about the limits of power and the things we'd be willing to do to alter our reality, especially when faced with loss.
Yeah, absolutely. Imagine having that power to just freeze everything and make the pain go away. But as with any great power, there's a catch. Right. Using this ability takes a massive toll on Alex, both physically and emotionally. We're talking debilitating headaches, nosebleeds. It's like his body is screaming at him every time he tries to manipulate time.
It's almost like the universe itself is pushing back against this disruption of the natural order. It makes you wonder, is this power a gift or a curse?
Right. And initially, he's just messing around with his powers. Typical teenager stuff. He stops a petty theft here, prevents a mugging there. But it all feels so meaningless compared to what's happening with Mia. He can stop time, but he can't stop her illness. It highlights the limitations of his power, even if it seems limitless on the surface.
There's a real sense of frustration in those early acts. He's testing the boundaries of his abilities, but the real problem, his sister's illness, remains untouched. It begs the question, what good is a power like this if it can't help the people you love most?
Exactly. And then bam! The story takes this crazy turn. Alex learns about this huge drug operation, the very source of the poison that's killing Mia. And there's a raid planned, but it's a suicide mission. You can feel the tension building.
The stakes are raised significantly at this point. It's no longer about petty thefts or teenage pranks. It's about life and death, not just for Mia, but for countless others caught in this drug lord's web.
And this is where Alex becomes like a secret weapon for the good guys.
Yeah.
He's freezing time, giving the raid team this unbelievable advantage. Think about it. Frozen moments, disarmed traps, bullets just hanging in midair. It's pure action movie magic.
But it's more than just spectacle. Alex is using his power strategically outmaneuvering his opponents, creating opportunities where there were none before. It raises the question, could a power like this actually be used for good on a larger scale? What are the ethical implications of wielding such an ability?
It's mind-blowing to consider. But just when you think everything's going according to plan, a wild card appears. A young girl with a detonator ready to blow everything sky high. Talk about a cliffhanger. The tension is palpable.
This moment is a turning point for Alex. He could freeze time again, but we know the strain it puts on him. He has to make a choice. Rely on his ability or risk everything in a desperate, very human act. This is where we see the true conflict within him.
And you know what? He goes for it. No time stopping, just pure adrenaline and courage. He tackles the girl, disarms the detonator, and the world comes crashing back in with a bang. You can practically feel the chaos, the shouts, the gunfire, the near miss of a bullet grazing his arm.
It's a powerful moment of choice. Alex embraces his vulnerability, proving that heroism isn't always about extraordinary abilities, but about the courage to act in the face of danger, even without a safety net. It's fascinating how that moment of pure human action shifts the entire narrative. We've seen Alex rely on his power so far, but here, he chooses instinct and bravery, highlighting a different kind of strength. It makes you consider what true heroism really entails.
Yeah, it's like he realizes that relying solely on his power isn't enough. There's a deeper level of courage and selflessness in choosing to act without it, putting himself directly in harm's way. It makes that victory even more impactful, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. The drug lord is captured, the operation is shut down, a clear win for the good guys. But there's this interesting twist. Alex gets no recognition. His power is too dangerous, too much for the world to understand. So he remains this unsung hero.
Right, it's a bittersweet victory, right? He saved countless lives, but he's forced to remain in the shadows. It makes you think about the sacrifices real heroes make and how they often go unnoticed.
It challenges our conventional understanding of heroism. We're so used to the public accolades, the parades, the statues, But what about the heroes who operate in secrecy, whose actions can never be revealed? Does their sacrifice hold less value because it's unseen?
Hmm. It raises some really profound questions about motivation and the true meaning of heroism. Is it about recognition or about doing the right thing even when no one's watching?
Exactly. And Second Chance doesn't shy away from exploring the emotional weight of that burden. We see Alex wrestling with this secret, knowing he can't share his actions with anyone. It adds a layer of complexity to his character and makes you wonder about the long-term psychological impact of carrying such a weight.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Imagine the internal conflict. He's this teenager with this incredible power, yet he's forced to live a seemingly ordinary life. It's almost like he's leading a double life, but without the cool costume and gadgets.
It's an interesting subversion of the classic superhero trope. Instead of the hero reveling in their secret identity, Alex is burdened by it. It makes his struggle feel more relatable, more human, despite the fantastical element of his power.
Totally. And then we shift back to the hospital room, and the atmosphere changes completely. It's quiet, somber. Mia is weak, but she manages to smile and asks Alex to read to her. Even though he's physically and emotionally drained, he reads.
That scene is so powerful in its simplicity. We're pulled back from the high-stakes action to this intimate moment between siblings. It reminds us of the core of the story, Alex's love for his sister and his desperate desire to hold on to her.
It's a beautiful contrast to all the time-bending chaos that came before. It highlights the importance of human connection and the power of simple acts of love and kindness.
And it's in this quiet moment that Alex seems to discover what true heroism really means. It's not about stopping time. It's about cherishing the time you have even when it's running out. It's about finding strength and solace in those precious moments with the people you love.
It's a beautiful message, isn't it? It reminds us that heroism isn't always about grand gestures and saving the world. Sometimes it's about those small, everyday acts of courage and compassion.
And it makes you wonder if Alex's time-stopping ability is actually a metaphor for the human desire to hold on to precious moments, to freeze time and prevent the inevitable. But as the story shows us, time marches on, and true strength lies in embracing the present even as it slips away.
It's a thought-provoking idea,
Yeah.
and it makes me curious about what Alex will do next. Will he continue to use his powers, or will he try to live a normal life? Does he even have a choice?
And that's the beauty of a story like Second Chance. It leaves us with more questions than answers. It challenges us to consider the complexities of heroism, sacrifice, and the human condition.
And that's what makes it such a compelling read. It's not just an action-packed thriller. It's a story that stays with you long after you've finished it. It makes you think about the choices we make, the sacrifices we're willing to endure, and the power of human connection. It's interesting how Second Chance weaves those deeper themes into what could have been just a straightforward action story. The idea of time manipulation as this metaphor for our attempts to control the uncontrollable life. Especially when it comes to loss and grief. That's powerful stuff.
It certainly adds a layer of depth that elevates the story beyond a simple superhero narrative. It forces us to confront our own vulnerabilities and the limitations we face as humans.
And the fact that he can't share his secret, that he has to carry this burden alone, adds another level of complexity. It makes you think about the unsung heroes in our own lives, the people who make sacrifices behind the scenes without expecting any recognition.
Precisely. It challenges us to reconsider our definitions of heroism and acknowledge that it often exists in the quiet, unseen acts of courage and selflessness.
Yeah, it's like the story is saying, true heroism isn't about the accolades. It's about the choices we make, even when no one is watching.
And the ending with Alex reading to his sister, it's such a simple act, yet it speaks volumes. It shows that even amidst the chaos and danger, he's still capable of love and compassion. It's a beautiful reminder that sometimes the most heroic acts are the smallest ones.
Yeah. That final scene really resonated with me. It brings the story full circle back to that powerful bond between Alex and Mia. It reminds us that human connection, that love is a force that even time can't diminish.
Absolutely. And it leaves us with a sense of hope, a glimmer of light amidst the darkness. Even in the face of loss, there's still beauty to be found in those shared moments, those connections that transcend the boundaries of time.
Well said. Second Chance is a story that packs a punch both in terms of action and emotional depth. It's a story that will stay with me for a while, and I have a feeling our listeners will feel the same way.
I agree. It's a story that challenges us to think differently about heroism, about sacrifice, and about the power of human connection in the face of adversity.
So, what did you think about Second Chance? What resonated with you the most? Hit us up on social media and let us know. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And don't forget to rate and follow the Abstraction Hero podcast for a fresh dose of awesome stories every single day. Until next time, stay epic.